the welfare queen is trying to
Yes.
get dismissed from the case. The current case, of course, he was part of stealing about what 90 million in welfare funds from Mississippi. What I'm
Mhm.
not understanding is
I'm
one,
part of
why
a
is
whole
this a
bunch of
civil
people.
case and not why is it not criminal? But he is trying to. He's not saying what they did was not wrong. He's saying he wasn't part of it, so he shouldn't be part of this case.
I am so excited to talk about this because it involves some of my favorite things. Greedy, under overrated football players who can't figure out when to just give it a rest. Brett Farve, Green Bay, being a Chicago baby, I really enjoy the times that Lovie Smith used to beat the smack out of their ass back in the good old days. But I want you to understand deeper into what this is and how cruel Brent Favre truly is. Brent Favre, the last year's governor and the athletic director of Ole Miss came together and said, we have a
MS.
surplus of cash and money that we don't know what to do with. Do you have any suggestions on how we could do this? Brent Favre's daughter was an assistant coach and played volleyball at Ole Miss, and there was a $5.3 million piece of land that they could have built the brand new stadium for. And guess what Brent Favre did with his infinite wisdom in Jackson State with number 47 for Black women's health, number 47 for overall general health, 40 for children's health, lowest education, and at one point went 6 months without running water in the capital. Jackson State, the number one voting block for all Black Democrats. I'm talking about the biggest. If you put the amount of Black people in Jackson State in anywhere in the country, it would immediately turn blue. But because they're surrounded by 20 plus red counties, they'll never get the love and admiration from the Democratic Party, which is a shame. So shame on them. I'm coming for everybody in this. There's a little known fact that this motherfucker said this shit, and he's trying to get out of this when it was his name that was in the text message. When he said, I don't want my name attached to this. Can you make sure that they don't know the money came from me? And you're saying to yourself, why isn't this going to the criminal route? Because of racism. Why would you think a group of white people would try and convict the governor of last year who hired and gave all of them the position and powers they hold today? The simple fact is, while we watch Trump get put and paraded around, this is skating under the radar, and it really needs to be brought to the forefront because there's many opportunities for us to put people in their place throughout the country, but we continue to focus on the big shiny red orange dude in the sky, and I'm not talking about the sun.
I
Well
love
said.
when people I love when people who think they have FU money realize you don't even have screw you money, right? Brett Favre, who really, first of all, you ain't been in Mississippi for most of your adult life, right?
Mm.
Second of all, people really don't care that much. You use your clout and these terrible. If you read the text messages, he used these really terrible football analogies. It's now your time to get the ball across the goal line. The cheesiest football cliches of all time. And let's not forget about Brett Favre sending the gray old dick pic, right? When he was a New York Jet to one of the cheerleaders. Let's not forget about that. So Brett Favre has been a terrible Vicodin opioid addicted human being for the better part of his adult life. Let's not forget about he has been scum since the beginning. I agree with Hero. I just had to say this stuff about Brett Favre. I don't want people to forget that he has been scummy long before he started stealing from the people of Mississippi, right? He has been scum since he was popping pills. He was popping pills since while being married, sending unsolicited dick pics as a New York Jet, right? He has been scum.
Dude, I
He
forgot
said
about.
many of exactly.
Yeah, I
He
forgot
said
about the
many of
opioid
arguably
addiction
racist things.
and
Yeah.
the sexual harassment.
It's just, I mean, because they'll sit here and throw Jameis Winston under the bus and make light of his who has fallacies and has issues. But like even when we have quarterbacks like the Houston
And
quarterback
Roethlisberger.
who
Or Deshaun
no,
Roethlisberger, yes.
yeah, even with them, when we have situations, at least it's just I just want you to understand what it means to hold Black people accountable versus their white counterparts. Because even though we have a situation where yeah, he's scum because he definitely did something with these masseuses and he definitely had a past, but it wasn't proven in court. He was found innocent in court. and only liable for damages of the civil kind. And he still gets persecuted and ran through the mud daily. But like literally, like we don't even talk about how the dude from Indianapolis got a woman killed at his college because he was harassing her. What's his name? The Indiana Colts dude, Manning, the older Manning brother. Like that's people don't even know about that story. Like how a woman committed suicide because he basically coerced her into doing it.
Was that the